Welcome back. My name is Carrie, and today we're talking tiny homes and affordable housing. Yesterday, it was reported that tiny homes are getting a big boost in housing-starved Kelowna. That's a very clickable headline, and I was excited to see it show up on my news feed because I've lived in Kelowna, and I love to hear about the different steps cities are taking to try and improve affordability for their residents. Right now, like a lot of other places in North America, Kelowna is about as far away from affordable housing as you can get. The best realtor in Kelowna, as voted by me, Ken Armstrong, sent me the real estate report for July, and the average sale price for a single family home for the area last month was $1,115,198. Crazy, right? The good news is the City Council is aware of the problem and Tuesday night voted to amend their bylaws to hopefully help the situation, and I think other cities will follow suit. However, don't rush out and buy the first tiny home you see because even though some red tape has been removed, it hasn't been eliminated. What I'm going to do is tell you what change they made, what it means for tiny homes, and tell you if I think their solution could work for other cities in North America, so let's do it. Whenever I post a video about a cool new home with a small footprint, I'm met with a flurry of negative comments saying there is no use for these homes or you can't put them anywhere. I've been saying people realize there's a massive affordability problem and local governments will be making changes to allow for smaller forms of housing. Listen, I'm not going to waste the entire video gloating about how I was right, but I am going to waste 2 seconds. All of the companies getting into the space are doing so at the perfect time because I think we're going to see more and more cities making similar changes. At the Kelowna City Council meeting on Tuesday night, Council discussed text amendments for carriage homes in the urban residential zone. The goal was to give bylaw number 12263 second and third reading in order to amend the zoning bylaw to allow carriage houses as permitted secondary use on RU1 and RU2 lots that have a sanitary sewer connection within the urban core, as defined by map 5.1 in the Kelowna 2030 official community plan. Great, so now we can park a tiny home in every backyard in Kelowna. Not so much. When most people, well, me anyway, hear the word tiny home, they think of the cool looking units owned by cool looking people who have cool lives and they tow them around to cool locations and everything is cool. So I think the original article that I saw might be a bit misleading because there's more to it than simply buying any tiny home and putting it in your backyard. They can be tiny in size, but they still have to go through the normal permit process, be placed on a concrete foundation, and comply with all building codes, which limits a few options, but does still leave people with a lot of great options that I'll touch on in just a second. Carriage houses were allowed before the text amendment was approved, but you had to rezone the property to add a C classification to the parent zone. With the change, that still applies to properties outside the core area, but properties inside the core area will no longer have to rezone their property to be able to add a carriage house as long as their property meets the rest of the criteria, stuff like size, setback, and coverage. So basically they removed a step and some red tape for 5,655 properties to be able to add a secondary dwelling, which Ryan Smith, Kelowna's Director of Planning and Development, calls gentle density, and a way to increase supply amid skyrocketing real estate prices and rental costs. I think this is a great thing. Just by making the process simpler, I think they'll see more people take advantage of the full density capability of their property, because if it's a giant pain in the neck to do something, people are far less likely to do it. By now you might be wondering, how is any of this going to lower the price of a house? And to be perfectly honest with you, it isn't. There are a few ways to look at affordability when applied to housing. One is the price of the house and another is how much it costs per month. The goal of allowing carriage houses is to lower the amount housing costs per month, both for the owner and the renter. Let's say a couple is looking to buy a home in Kelowna's core. They've found two similar houses, one with a carriage house and one without. If we go by Kent's average sale price of $1,100,000 for house A, the mortgage cost per month is going to be around $3,700. House B has the carriage house, so let's assume the price for that is $1,250,000. The monthly mortgage costs around $4,258, or $511 more per month than house A. I found a carriage house bachelor suite on Kijiji in Kelowna that had been rented for $1,400 per month. If we put that towards the mortgage of the home, we get $2,858 per month for house B, and the more expensive home becomes $889 less per month than the home with no carriage house. So you can see how this concept works to make housing more affordable for owners, but it should also help renters. By allowing over 5,000 homes in Kelowna to add carriage houses to their property, the hope is that rent prices in Kelowna will come down. For example, if 5 new carriage houses are added in 1 month, the demand will decrease and maybe the monthly rent will have to be dropped from $1,400 to $1,390. At this point, I don't really know if they think that adding density by way of carriage houses will actually decrease the rent, or they're just trying to slow demand enough that rent won't increase as fast as it has been. They have to try something, and to me, this seems like a logical step in the right direction. The most exciting thing to me, though, is all the new options that are becoming available. As far as carriage homes go, there are a lot of good options available depending on your timeline and budget. There isn't a minimum size requirement listed on the carriage home bulletin, but there is a maximum, and you can't go over 100 square meters or 1,076 square feet. One opportunity I see for the people building the cool tiny homes is to take the exact same concept and apply it to something that can be placed on a foundation and meets all building codes. The thing about tiny homes that I think sets them apart is how they're finished. Like I mentioned before, they have the cool factor, so I think builders already experienced in those builds have a massive opportunity to pivot to tiny homes compatible with foundations. It's possible they're already flat out busy doing what they do and don't need to expand into this type of business. I don't know. Aside from tiny tinies, you could do a modular ADU from a modular home builder. I'm a big fan of the Urbaneer 510 from Champion Homes. It's a 510 square foot studio. You could get a Coda house from Coda Sema. They've got some very unique modern designs. You could get a $50,000 fold-out house from Boxable. It sets up in 1 hour. Or you could get a shipping container home from Hono Mobile. I think they've done work in Kelowna already. There are so many cool options available, and I think there's about to be a lot more. There really is something for every budget and lifestyle. Kelowna took a step to making housing more affordable by making the carriage house process easier for anyone who wants to add one. I think this is a great way to make housing more affordable that will continue to gain traction all over North America, which will be a big opportunity for anyone in or thinking of entering the tiny home market as a builder or someone who wants to earn some extra income from their property. That's all I've got for today. If you like manufacturing videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I've got new ones coming out every single week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.